Welcome to Sad Boyz, a podcast about feelings and other things also. I'm Jarvis.
That hit. I like that one. That was punchy.
Yeah, I tried to fiddle with the cadence a little bit.
Howdy, I'm Jordan. Okay, yeah, karate, like a Western guy.
I saw a comment that was like, Jordan's never confident in the intro, and that's like his bit, and it is.
We're calling it a bit. That's funny. That's you know what it is. Honestly, it's a. I'm excited to see how you do it. I forget that I'm a part of it.
Right, every time.
Because it is. I think
it's like you're like, yeah, cool.
There's like a really old episode where I remember talking about how I wanted to reduce doing too much of a bit in the intro with my name, because I feel like it. Right. I don't want to be too much of a goofball all the time. But if I do end up doing a bit with my name, it's like that insurance parachute that comes out if the other one doesn't. Right. Or that parachute that shoots out if like a speed racer is going too quickly. It's an emergency chute. Right. For, well, I'm fucking up, but the embarrassing dead air. And yeah, so that's true. Dead air is embarrassing. I think moment of silence for dead air. Thank you for your service. How's it going? All right. How the hell are you? How are you hanging, dog? You gotta calm down, man. You're being insane, dude. What's freaking capping? Crap. His nose is bleeding. My ninja. All right, relax. It's all right, man. I'm low ebb. Oh, I feel that. I feel that big time. I canceled our recording yesterday because I was on a low ebb. It was honestly greatly appreciated. Yeah, because I would have missed it by sleeping. Right. I've been sleeping real fucked up. I woke up at 6 yesterday. I have not slept. Because I can't. It was up for 6 hours. Someone's gonna make a supercut of this, and then we're gonna send it to your doctor. Oh no, he's got bigger priorities. Specifically, he's focused primarily on the. Well, we don't need to get into the condition, but he's got to take a break from just the. Oh wait, hold on, my phone's buzzing. What the hell? It must be your doctor then. No, it's your phone that's buzzing. Doesn't make any sense. I know. He says I can't. I think you guys are doing the show, right? That's a fact. So I'd message you, Jarvis, just so that you could, because Jordan doesn't like to interrupt the show with text messages, but Jarvis doesn't mind. Right. That's about your butt disease. Come on. I was thrilled that maybe you wouldn't mention it. No, he says, I know I'm breaking HIPAA for this, but the truth is out there. Hey, man, I mean, the seal's broken on his malpractice at this point. It's a weekly event, I feel like. Sometimes on the Patreon as well. Yeah, I think he's kind of like a freelancer doctor now. He no longer has a practice. He's been shut down by the FCC, the CIA, the NAACP, TBH, and the AARP. Not to mention AAA. Yeah, for whatever reason, I mean, to be fair, I've never seen him in a hospital or a practice, and I've never seen him. Yeah, he calls primarily. Received text messages and calls, mainly to whoever isn't his client. Right, anyone who's within earshot that's not the person that he needs to talk to, he's always talking to. That would be if one of us gets a real butt disease. That bit, if the bit ever goes away, that's why. To be clear, it's because one of us. Yeah, if a moment passes and we're not talking about butt disease, it's because one of us has contracted a more serious version of the butt disease we already have. We can make it part of the canon that's why I sit so weird. Yeah. We just had as some people know, we have a little monitor that sits in front of us to remind us of things, check up on the time. Sometimes Jacob will write us a message just saying, hello. He'll say, I want to go home. Stop recording. Pay me one time, please. Please, just this once. But I asked for our main cam reel briefly so that I could consciously choose a way to sit. And then we started recording, and my leg started doing what it's doing now. Yeah. Like I have the Venom symbiote. My question is when you're at home, do you think it's just like an on-camera thing? No, it's devastating if I'm at home. It's like the double slit experiment in quantum mechanics, where a light can behave as both a particle and a wave depending on the situation. And so when there's an observer, aka you've got a camera on you,
your body just acts in unpredictable ways.
Yeah, I am.
Your body acts as a wave and a particle.
And my sitting functions differently when I'm observed.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Schrodinger's boy.
Schrodinger's legs.
But it is always jacked up. No, man. I mean, I think in the live show I was a little more conscious of it, but even then, as guests came out, it was you know what it's like? It's like watching one of those montages of a flower dying,
where it's like happening in fast motion,
like a prey in nature dissolving or something.
Yeah,
that shot of the buildings exploding that's always in montages of war and stuff.
Right, and it's like, what war are you talking about?
What the hell is this?
It's like an exploit. It's like the Roman Empire collapsing, and it's like 9/11. It's like, this is unrelated B-roll.
It's taking along. It's been a little while since we did the show.
It has been. It's a new year now. New year, new us.
Happy New Year.
I changed everything about myself.
Will it still be?
My name's George.
Do the intro again.
My name is George Orwell.
You're British now.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing up 1984, because I've been watching some pretty badass, unwoke stand-up specials, and we're essentially living in 1994. I haven't read the book.
1994?
I did rent the movie.
We are living in 1994. Nirvana's Nevermind is topping the charts.
How the hell
is that the right year for that?
It came out in 92.
Okay.
So
might still top the charts in 94.
You appeared circa 1992, yes.
That's true.
My ass 94, you
1990 true. Hey, dude.
Calm down, okay?
Bars.
It was 1991.
Well, in a rare resurgence 3 years later, Nirvana's Nevermind topped the charts, 1994.
And Jarvis
you heard it here first.
Defeated Anastasia on Price is Right rules.
You were in the Epstein flight logs?
Come on. I was the pilot. Yeah, I was just doing it for base jumping though.
Yeah. You were just there for fun.
Yeah, I was in the Epstein fight logs.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I was trying to fight him.
Right. And then he told me we don't talk about Flight Club.
Yeah. That's
which
true.
Which is why you want to hear me talking about it.
Dude, for context, that came out yesterday versus, this is still coming out in 2024, right, this episode?
If we're lucky.
Okay, yeah, because somebody's not editing very quickly.
Jacob.
Let's just say
we like to leave a few subtle nods that we don't like Jacob's work. Bad job, Jacob.
Put it in text on screen. Make it loud.
What could that possibly mean?
Yeah. We're helping him read through the lines.
Easter eggs for the big fans. Let's just say we don't like him. If you catch
he's
my drift.
Bad.
It's fine. He's laughing.
No, he's good.
We don't have HR.
Unfortunately, he's a flawless human being. And it makes us mad. That's why we make up a reality where he's making mistakes.
And then we're good and we sit normal.
And we're good and normal and fine. And we weren't on the fight log.
You bet the flight log wake up, babe. New flight log just dropped.
Everyone was the flight log is like a 900-page document or 900 pages of documents. And the funniest thing to me, none of it's funny, by the way. There are like real horrible crimes and victims involved, but
it is fascinating.
It is fascinating, and it's made a certain corner of the internet go cuckoo bananas, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And one of the weird things that happened is there's this show on ESPN. There's this new ESPN host who's like more paid than like every other on-camera talent on ESPN in ESPN history, named Pat McAfee. And
from something,
and then ESPN like hired him for like a bajillion dollars, and then fired a bunch of their like on-camera talent, and then everybody was upset about it. But he had on Aaron Rodgers. I think he has like a thing with Aaron Rodgers, like they're buds or whatever. And Aaron Rodgers,
he hates the jab.
What's wild is that Aaron Rodgers was a world famous and beloved football player. But then he decided that like being an anti-vaxxer was his favorite thing.
A position which is like, you can do a lot of weird shit and stay in the NFL. They're like pretty...
Unless you kneel.
Yeah, that's true. What you can do is be black wrong.
NFL owners hate this one weird trick.
Yeah. You can't be black too loudly.
Yeah.
If you integrate and like, I don't know, get like a
and
very
by too
cool
loudly,
touchdown.
it's a silent protest. Yeah. Well, a silent protest is too loud for the NFL.
Maybe he was just tired. Come on.
Yeah.
Why does nobody ask?
Yeah, the NFL owners have like a hypersonic headphones that they're listening to. It's like, ooh, I hear a kneel.
That's I heard a knee
sound
hit the grass.
Signature of a kneel. It's like the Richter scale for social justice. Oh no, someone said BLM. Get him.
That was a 6.1.
But Aaron Rodgers, we may have even talked about this ages ago, but I remember back around COVID times, he like refused. So back when all the sports were returning, he like refused to get vaccinated and said, I've been immunized or something like that, or something. And then I think now he's just
to the power of football.
I think now he's gone a little bit mask off, a little helmet off, maybe a little, unintentional CTE joke, actually. Football, dangerous sport. Anyway,
we should make teens play it.
Yeah, my kid will never play football. Too much bumping.
My kid will never play football, too scared.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
But anyway,
Goku, Vegeta, Adika is a pathetic joke.
One of the wildest things I saw was before the Epstein stuff came out, the new stuff, the Epstein just dropped. I was a fan of the old stuff. Sorry, I'm doing like word association and I'm not going forward with my thoughts. Anyway, he was on Pat McAfee's show and then he was like, I'm going to pop some sort of bottle when Jimmy Kimmel comes out as being a part of that. Or like the actual quote is similar to that. I'm like not quoting it, but he did say I'm going to pop some sort of bottle. And he's like, Jimmy Kimmel's not going to be excited about this. Randomly mentions Jimmy Kimmel. And then...
Who has some light pre-existing beef because Kimmel has roasted him for the back stuff,
I guess so.
2 years ago.
And so the thing that where I'm going with this is that, so then Jimmy Kimmel responded and he was like, hey, asshole, spelled with 2 A's like Aaron, which I thought was a little, all right. But anyway.
The staff could have helped you on that one.
Yeah. Anyway, he called him out for it. And he's like, I have nothing to do with that man. I don't know why you're insinuating that I had something to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know if Jimmy Kimmel has anything to do with Epstein, but I do know that he's like not mentioned in any of these documents. And
or any anecdotal evidence
or photo evidence.
I guess it's as likely as anyone in the world.
Meanwhile, Alan Dershowitz is like, I must have been mistakenly mentioned 137 times in the document.
Oopsie daisy. I remember every time I would go there, I would sign the flight log with my penis. And then people are like, sus, but I'll hear him out.
Have you seen the photos of the flight logs?
Oh, it's fucking.
It'll be like a bunch of like chicken scratch and initials. It'd be like AABB Alan Dershowitz. All it's like written in caps.
The Dersh.
It's like kind of crazy. And then there's like a photorealistic sketch of him next to it doing a thumbs up.
I'm on the island now.
I know, it's crazy, but I'm
on island time.
But where I was going with this is that people on Twitter. Or X,
these days.
They're photoshopping, fake, like they're passing around an image that has Jimmy Kimmel like in one of the victim testimonies, and it's like, what are you doing? You would think these people care about truth, justice in the American way,
not the point.
But they're just passing around like a clearly photoshopped thing that includes Jimmy Kimmel, and then no one checks the source, and this is how like misinformation spreads, and it's wild that happens. Like,
if you open software to edit something, however much time that takes for you to edit even a semi-convincing image of Jimmy Kimmel's name in the flight logs
and it's
testimony,
text and like Courier News, so it's like so easy to like Photoshop it because it's like a very popular font that's like easily recognizable.
Play Baldur's Gate. I don't know. Do something.
Do anything else. But
do Warhammer. I don't know.
The thing is, the sad reality with X
these days
is that Elon has monetized misinformation.
Antisocial.
And so what?
Antisocial.
You said he's funny.
He's
you said he's funny and you like his meme.
No, he's hot is what I said.
Oh, he's hot.
He has pretty privilege.
You sent me a, he's also neurodivergent, a minor.
Yeah, so he should be left alone.
Yeah, you sent me a photo of like a lolcat or whatever that he sent you, and you said, wow, what a funny little guy. What a small bean,
I
actually.
said, methinks this is epic.
Yeah.
And then I replied in Icon's cheeseburger style language. With a Velociraptor meme.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Or one of those patronizing Wonka or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm using it wrong.
What's the penguin that's going 2 different ways?
Oh, socially awkward penguin.
Oh, he is socially awkward.
Dude. We've ended my domain. My Newgrounds training has prepared me for this.
But yeah, so Elon has like utterly, like, Twitter was bad before. Like, Twitter was the worst social media before, but he has somehow taken it to a new cesspool high score.
Yeah.
Because
Twitter was just bad because it was all of the people. And there is poor moderation with all of the people is bad.
He simultaneously first demonetized the worst people because he created Twitter Blue and then prioritized the replies. So now you have to see like annoying Elon stans.
The worst joke in reply to really normal stuff.
And look, and I'll say it, I'm pro sex work, but there is this unhinged behavior. Of like people trying to drive you to an OnlyFans page. And I don't even know if it's like a real independent creator or if it's like some sort of like MCN type thing, but it will like use AI to take like the subject of, or maybe it's a real person, but I just doubt it, to take the subject of the thing and then insert it into the conversation. So it could be like a dead person. And then they'll be like, I was last seen with this dead person. Click on my profile. And I'm like, okay.
I've got something you can bury.
It's like, I support your ability to do your work. What I will criticize is this manner of advertising is like extremely like not even uncouth, but just like messed up.
Yeah, just sinister.
Yeah, it's like sinister.
Also, you don't exist.
Yeah, a lot of it, and then a lot of it's like AI profiles or like fake. That's too where it gets into it, because it's like you have to separate like the real people from like the bots and bot farms and people who are stealing other people's content.
I mean,
then,
I
like,
literally I cannot tweet, not even a reply, without a blurred photo and somebody called like, you know, KDLLXY.
Yeah.
And then, hey, what you doing tonight? Blurred photo.
Yeah.
5 or 6 of them. And I'm just like, this is odd.
It's weird because it's like a pretty commonly like no one's a fan of it, but it's because what I'm also not a fan of is when a real person replies to something. Like if usually like what these accounts, they are bots because they like reply like thousands of times like within like minutes or whatever. But the people who are like actual human beings behind a keyboard, like if you just happen to be a sex worker and you like comment on something, then everybody's like, no one wants to buy your, they'll be like, I liked this movie. Reply, no one wants to buy your OnlyFans. Okay.
God forbid you ratio an annoying person.
Yeah. That's like not what we're talking about here. This is literally like, it's like, I was with Alan Dershowitz. Come see my OnlyFans. It's like, what is going on?
Slow down.
Or like it gets in the thing of like being insensitive to victims because it's like so cut and paste. Like it's like That's why I don't think it's a real person like doing these types of.
Yeah, they read like sales email formatting.
Yeah. And so it's those.
I create a name.
Or if there's a viral post on like disturbing videos and it's like the last thing Joe saw before his air balloon popped or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Joe Biden, I can inflate something with you.
Yeah.
See, I should write these.
And then all the replies will be like, oddly fascinating video of the construction of an air balloon. And then like just a bunch of like unrelated things. And there's one guy going, I'm tired of how it's a copy pasta of like, I'm tired of how the replies aren't even the replies anymore. And it's all these people playing this game to get as many impressions as possible.
It's exhausting.
It's like so frustrating.
Most good tweets are good because the replies are funny.
I know.
And now it is genuinely, dude, it's pulling teeth to scroll through so many. You really went nuts with this one. You chose violence today.
Crying, laughing emoji.
And also, nobody wants to buy your OnlyFans.
Yeah,
it's like someone
it's like not even. Also they'll do that reply to just an account they think is a woman. That doesn't even have an OnlyFans.
This doesn't matter. Which, you know, it's just like inherently bad if you do or don't.
It's Matt Rifecore. It's like it's like your mom buys your Christmas presents with her money from OnlyFans, except for she doesn't do OnlyFans, and also you're replying to a 6-year-old.
Dude, that shit's so. I think about that all the time. I think about just it's you are a comic. Like, I mean, even Jimmy Kimmel's reply to Aaron Rodgers, it just needed more time to cook. It was a little too soy. It was a little too just like, well, I'll see you in court, sir.
Yeah.
Like, hey, pal, slow down.
He
Put
really
him on
wanted
blast.
to stand on business, but he's like 65 years old or whatever. Wait, how old is Jimmy Kimmel? He's getting up there.
He's 90 years old.
Christ.
Late 50s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 90s.
He's 56.
56. 65, 56. Spoonerism.
90, upside down, 6, 0, no number, could be any number. Leave a comment in the description guessing his name. And
his name. Guessing his name. Jeremy Carmer.
Fuck.
Oh, gosh.
How are you doing? What's up?
I mean, new year, new me, new face, new name, new identity.
George, yeah.
New
Balance.
So far, bad me, bad new me. Need a new body, need a new identity.
Knew him, can't talk.
I'm all right. I want to be like I'm getting out there. It's the new year. It's 2024. I'm about to do all the stuff, dude. I'm gonna lift a rock, dude. I'm gonna run up a hill. Oh fuck, the rock! It's like rolling down the hill.
You want to Sisyphus?
And then I'm gonna go back up, and then I'm gonna say no. I'm picking up the rock, and then I'm gonna go, and then my hand's so slippy. Oh no! Why did I oil myself up before I did this?
2024 is here, and my new resolution is for Zeus to place me inside a tree and have a raven pull my guts out every single day.
I'm just saying, some of you guys don't want to work anymore.
Yeah, I'm quiet quitting.
People don't want to rise and grind anymore, dude.
No one wants to hold up the globe every single day for eternity.
Yeah, dude.
Mr. Beast video.
I held up the biggest globe.
The biggest globe.
I found the biggest planet in our solar system.
I found somebody online that was willing to every single day of their life do one of Hercules' labors.
Right? It's like, I shipped off 2 random fans to Mars, and whoever comes back alive gets $9 billion.
Get no equipment.
Yeah.
Both instantaneously die.
And then one of the guys is like, I'm a former NASA engineer. I think I'll be able to manufacture some sort of spacecraft that could hopefully get myself through back through Earth's atmosphere.
And I'm 6 1/2.
Yeah, and he's like, and I love Mr. Beast. Now, do you think Little Johnny or Admiral Robert
Space Lord
Robert Dersh,
inventor of space,
who will win? But yeah, no, I'm having a slow start to the new year.
You failed. You fucked it up.
Yeah, I kind of already bunked my New Year's resolution. Can I start again? Can we re-roll the 2025? Can I get in like a cryo chamber?
Dude.
And just wait a year?
If I could freeze myself, first of all, I'd freeze myself through tax season, you know what I'm saying? And then when I get out, the IRS will be like, well, he was supposed to.
And then I'll freeze myself again. And then I'll just keep freezing myself till the IRS forgets.
I do not understand.
And then the year's 3,500 and they go, Jordan Adika's been dead for 1,500 years.
We can't ask for his taxes.
We can't ask
the cryo chamber doesn't affect my age.
Yeah.
I die. It sucks. If I had access, I'd be skipping through my wife's nagging.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yo, whenever you're talking to the old ball and chain.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We'd love to find one.
And she's she's talking your ear off. You go, I'm going in the chamber. Can't hear you. I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Guess I won't be able to take out the trash.
Can you please hit the on button? There's no one inside. Please.
I'm not going to hit the on. I'm not going to let you freeze yourself every time you have a disagreement.
Don't go inside the crowd. Guess who's going inside the cyberpod?
I'm gonna call an Uber driver and ask him to press the button. Okay?
Having one of those rise and grind guys is isolation tanks for when the damn ball and chain's nagging at you.
Yeah, that's why they do the cold plunges.
I can't hear you. I'm cold. I'll drown myself.
Is like still shouting?
I'm not throwing.
It's very cold.
Would you ever do one of that? You could
no, I'm
got
too
it
much
for
of
you.
a
I get you all
weakling.
this setup though.
No, you like press a button and it like trap doors to the couch into a cryo chamber.
Cryos you.
Oh man, I'm an ice cube for the rest of Sad Boyz' run, which will be long. It's
because we can't die.
Yeah, it's like they do a speed like a hyperlapse of the big Jarvis's big ice cube melting.
I'm aging.
You get to 1500 years old strangely without the cryo. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to whatever. We are no longer sad. We feel nothing. You want to do a plunge? Not even one time.
No, I mean, I've heard there's. Well, so here's the thing. In this world, I don't know anything, and every time I hear something that sounds like a fact, I can't believe it.
So the jab.
No.
Jimmy Kimmel.
No, I trust the experts.
I don't believe in Jimmy Kimmel.
I got myself a Fauci ouchie.
Remember when everyone was making the same 5G joke? Like, I got
Bill Gates and nanobots inside of my 5G body.
I'm not scared right now, and I haven't become unfunny because of the pandemic.
My phone doesn't have service here. Oh, let me use my body because I have 5G in me from Bill Gates.
Do you remember? Well, that's gone. The 5G's things feel like it's gone.
Well, there's a moving target. Remember the caravan of immigrants that was going to take over the U.S.?
No, dude, I'm still
and
looking
the
for
other crises that were manufactured.
Yeah, I took care of it. I was one of them. I was on the caravan. It was actually just me.
But yeah, I'm trying to be patient with myself. I have a lot of stuff I want to do, but I don't have a lot of energy, so I'm trying to work up to it. But you know how it go, dude. It's 2024. It's been 2024 for at least a day.
You're so upset.
It's so slow. Why isn't it passing faster?
He's trying to be confident, but
I want to be where I want to be. But every day I don't get any closer.
You know?
It's upset. It's like I'm looking in the mirror at the gym every day and I don't see the change.
At the gym? Like,
it's like I'm lifting a boulder up a hill over and over again.
You know this is a myth. This is like
what do you mean it's a myth? I live it every day.
No, you're kidding me. You're plagiarizing the Bible? Is there a Bible for them?
The Bible for Sisyphus? Sisyphus' Bible? It's the rock.
Stuff on the underside. Yeah. He has to turn it over to see what it's a. Don't kill.
Okay. So we have written on our little conversation board, working at Target for free, and it is
just an idea we had.
Which is like in the new year, it's something I want to try. There is a TikToker who has been going into stores. They're named Madison. Okay. They're going into stores, documenting how long they can do a bunch of free labor before they get kicked out or they just decide to leave. Yeah, it's quiet work. It is the opposite. So wait, can we watch let's watch the Walmart one because that one I've seen. And then apparently the Target one's crazy, but I haven't seen it yet.
And immediately got to work. I was doing such a good job that customers started asking for my help.
Yeah, can you tell me the price on this?
I don't know. I don't work here. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you worked here.
No.
I seen you putting stuff.
I started organizing shelves, throwing trash away, and folding the clothes.
Yeah. Are you the one TikToker that tries to stay as long as possible? No.
I would like to say that if you don't have to be doing a good job for someone to ask you a question at a grocery store. I mean, you could just be in a blue shirt. How embarrassing for that guy to think she worked there.
What a moron.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw you working here.
Leave.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't work here. Oh, I'm sorry, little girl. I don't like that. But
well,
anyway.
I guess I better take my own life with my 6-shooter.
Well, all I did was I saw you working here, and I assumed that you worked here. It was a thing that I did.
No, actually, no joke. After I worked retail, it took me about 6 months to stop automatically organizing shelves. Doing we used to call it facing up. So like making sure everything is at the front of the shelf, and perfectly positioned.
That's what I called it when I got braces.
Facing upgrading.
I faced up my mouth. I was like, yo, can we get me faced up? Dude, this shit is whack.
I'm mouthing off.
Yeah.
Did it also sound familiar to you when not wearing the uniform, doing nothing. Someone just walks up and goes like, "Hey, can you work here?"
Oh yeah.
I'm wearing like a floral T-shirt.
Yeah.
And cut off jean shorts.
Yeah.
Hey, you work here?
You're wearing a shirt that says, "Hey, don't talk to me. I don't work here."
Yeah. Hi, I'm on island time from a different country, and then they go up and they just go, "Hey, no, do you work in Nick?"
I've either gotten that or I've gotten the person who is like following you in the store. Yeah. So when you like look back, they like hide behind the clothes, like I'm a fucking Metal Gear NPC.
Yeah, blink.
Yeah, it's like where I can't. Oh, my eye line's obstructed. I can't see you.
Oh, it must have been the wind.
Yeah,
or like Boo from Mario.
Yeah,
when you turn around,
you can't look at. Okay, we can continue.
No. No.
No, I don't know anything about you. I think they mistook me for Gail Lewis. Sorry, that's not me. After a couple hours, I worked up an appetite. When I was in line, the girl in front of me didn't have a credit card, so she was going to have to go in a different lane and rescan all her stuff, and I told her not to worry about it and bought it for her.
Sure? You're welcome.
I'm just making sure my customers are satisfied. Then I got back to business. I want to be the best employee this Walmart's never had. I drank a 2-liter of Dr. Thunder and got back on my grind. Unfortunately, Walmart closes at 11 p.m., so I had to leave. This is Madison, signing off. I spent 9 hours working at Walmart for free, and it was the best day ever.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't get distracted by the wrong part. A 2-liter
of Dr. Thunder.
Do they even have
a
public restroom at Walmart? Like, Jesus.
I think she was just high on all the caffeine from Dr. Thunder,
rushing.
dude. A 2-liter bottle of Dr. Thunder.
In the Adderall aisle.
Dude, that's like a Panera lemonade levels of caffeine.
Yeah, dude. I worked at Panera for 2 hours and unfortunately I exploded.
I died, yeah. How long did I work at Panera before I die? I work at Panera. I mean, I don't work at Panera.
Don't work at Panera.
I work from Panera. Okay, so
also, by the way, if it's for free and you don't like belong to the company or whatever, you're not working. You're just being at it.
Right.
You're being a problem.
Which is why like their comments like nobody wants to work anymore, blah blah blah. And it's like she's only doing what she feels like doing. So, it's like, and she's doing free labor, sure, but like it was what did she say at the end of that one? It was like the best, or it was so fun or something. And I'm like, okay. Well, some people can't afford to work for free. Some people have to work at Walmart for real.
There's just something. There's too many questions. Do you remember that old Cody Co? Because he's so old. There's an old video with the blue ass water thing, or it's like, why are these people able to travel the world? Tell me who this is.
Yeah,
because most charitable answer is that they like work in financial or something. Like they just have a lot of money.
Sure.
Most likely answer is that they're 19, so they probably just have billionaire parents.
Right.
This is not like you can do this just as like relatively comfortable middle class family.
Yeah,
like,
if you're
she's what, 16 something. That it's perfectly viable and a thing. It's just that there is clearly some of the comments. I don't know where grudges go. Seems like good intentions.
Definitely good intentions. But I do think that
something a bit sinister about it.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I think we have to ask why you're able to do this, and also like I don't like what it ends up coming off as like working at grocery stores is fun.
Yeah, sure.
Like.
Yeah.
And I did it for free, and it was entertaining for me. It's a little bit like my culture is not your prom dress. You know what I mean? Where it's like
cultural cosplay.
Yeah, like
everyone thought it was Gail Lewis.
It's like when Charli D'Amelio did like checked people out at Walmart because she was like doing a brand deal with Walmart, and the optics are like, oh, look at me, like I'm working.
Yeah, it's hinging on. Dude, imagine if like. Isn't that crazy? Like working at Walmart?
I know. For free.
It's for like those people. It's not for me. I'm normal.
I feel like maybe if they were like, I'm basically working for free anyway because they don't pay me a fucking living wage. Like if that was the message.
But then I would also just be like, please don't spend your time doing this.
It was super fun. And I'm like, okay. I feel like
plant.
Yeah. What?
CIA.
And then now all the grocery stores, I'm sure, the TikTok accounts for the grocery stores are like, come work at our place for free. We'd love all that free advertising.
Because it's fun.
Because it's fun.
Come work at the gun range for free. You're one of the targets.
Doing our labor's a good time.
It is odd.
Especially when you don't have to be managed or be asked to do any of the stuff that no one wants to do.
And also, yeah, it closes at 11. It's a 9-hour shift. There's people that do the 9-hour shift that then have to turn up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do a 12-hour shift.
In a way, you're just loitering.
It's like, and where the fucking stock I was putting up go? Because this isn't where it's supposed to go.
In a way, you're loitering and you are organizing shelves. And if I work there, sure, I wouldn't kick you out because I don't want to do that shit. So go ahead and do the shit I don't want. But like, but let's not glorify it. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
But I do think it's well intentioned.
I have no problem with this existing. It's not like I don't have like I don't think it's doing irreparable damage or something like that. The thing I would have a problem with is it becoming a trend. Because the thing, I mean, that's the thing that bothers me, is it just charitably it's fetishization and not appreciating how put upon retail workers are at all levels.
Yeah.
But all the pressure and the underpaying and the...
Why can't you be like that happy girl who works for free?
Yeah, be fun. It's it's kind of like, hey, we're a family.
Also, I don't know that this is a trend, but if anything gets views on TikTok, someone's gonna copy it. So I do fear for that.
I can't wait to see Target's annoying brand Twitter response.
Yeah, well, Jacob told me the Target one was bad, so I'm curious. Wait, Jacob, you said this one was wild, right?
Yeah, she goes, let's say, above and beyond.
Oh, no.
Just
okay.
Eating all the eggs.
Let's say above and beyond.
I bought everything at Target.
I got there 1 p.m. ready to work.
For free.
I made sure to go above and beyond for my customers.
You know where the Stanley Cups are? Oh, yeah, they're over here.
Oh, and we'll talk
the
about
$20
that. I know where the Stanley Cups are. And if you know about the Stanley Cups, just you wait. But we're going to get to the Stanley Cups. We're going to fucking get to the fucking...
You gotta calm down, man.
we're gonna get to those fucking cups. Dude, anyway, let's go back to
The Stanley Cups.
Dan, my wife, is cosplaying someone who works in a store.
Imagine
working at a fucking Target, dude.
Cosplaying a scum for a day.
Dude, couldn't be me. I do it for free.
It's literally like working my retail job when I was 15 years old for a year and a half, whatever it was, is the hardest I've ever worked in my entire life.
Yeah.
To date.
Yeah.
Like by a huge margin.
I know.
And I think maybe that's what it is. If it was like, I went in a tech office, did some partnerships work. I'd be like,
yeah, it's working at BlackRock for free. I walked into a weapons manufacturer and I worked for 12 hours to see who noticed.
I facilitated the sale of $500 million of NATO weaponry.
Yeah. Your tax dollars are going to war.
I destabilized Kuala Lumpur as a bit.
I got there 1 p.m. ready to work.
For free.
I made sure to go.
Okay, I have mild sensory issues with like auditorily, like if two people are talking at the same time, it scrambles my brain or whatever. Just very, very mild. I know people have it worse, but this fucking nails on a chalkboard to me.
Dude.
It makes me go into fight or flight.
I don't know how you rewatch it, and even if it's not actively upsetting or triggering a sensation, it is just bad. They made this. Then I watch it back and go I should just have a couple of seconds, but I'm not.
Yeah. Maybe just a shot with no audio of you in your uniform, red shirt, and doing this or something before it starts.
She's dressed like that chick from X.
All right.
Above and beyond for my customers.
You know where the Stanley Cups are? Oh, yeah, they're over here. And here's a $20 gift card.
I thought a caption was coming up for me.
Yeah, that was your line.
Oh shit. Oh my god, that's so funny. What?
Hey, I was wondering, where's the sugar?
Hi, do you want a laptop?
That Mr. Beast does that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like on his Instagram, he'll like go up to people in public locations and he'll be like, "Answer this question for $10,000."
I think if that one, even if maybe we went through with it, I think he would maybe edit around any result where someone was like, okay, fucking, what are you doing?
Do you want the deed to this location?
A castle in Wales.
Yeah. Do you want this franchise?
Don't you forgot? That is so weird.
I mean, hey, I guess it's like hard to get mad at people getting stuff for free who weren't expecting it, but it's always one of those things where it's like, okay, but we're filming it. It's for content.
It's just very funny. It's just like,
it is completely random out of why?
I want to help my customers out. That's where they're supposed to be at, but they must have sold out.
Oh, they sold out. And we're going to talk about the fucking Stanley. Yeah, they sold out of the Stanley Cups. But what were you asking?
It's okay. Just don't stop.
Okay, we can just keep playing.
The bathroom was really dirty, but don't worry, I fixed it. I organized the clothes.
I fixed it. I cast a spell.
That's such a funny way to talk about cleaning something.
Gosh, he's doing just
it was dirty, but I fixed it.
It's so nasty, dude. Didn't have any equipment or anything. Just hands on the ground with paper towels. I was hungry, so I had some Doritos. And then I drank a carafe of Red Bull, dipping my fingers in it before each sip.
It's gross by the fact that toilet paper. I feel like stores will usually skimp on the toilet paper, right? So it's like 0.5 ply or whatever.
It's transparent.
It's no ply toilet paper.
It's paint thickness.
Yeah.
Emptied the trash cans and got Olipop and more gift cards to give to my loyal customers.
It was an Olipop brand deal?
I found misplaced items and put them back where they belong. Employees and security guards kept walking past me, but I blended right in. I found this cart and I started stalking everything off of it. Another employee saw me, but he didn't care because he thought I worked there. We finished the cart together. After stalking...
Yeah, you got it.
You said that.
You got it. No, you hit the nail on the head.
And then on my way out, someone saw me, but it turns out they thought I was working at the store.
Yeah.
On the shelves, I decided to celebrate by buying my customers more stuff. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'll buy all your stuff too. Oh wow. God bless you, triple double. I cleaned up some more stuff. I think
that's a very cute way to say that.
Dude, that's an adorable way of saying that. That's what you get when you put up 10 God bless yous, 11 you're so sweet, and 15 darlings or whatever.
You spend your XP on all my honey roast lambs.
Yeah, dude, I would love to get a God bless you triple double. It's only happened a few times in history.
Yeah, that's when my Uber Eats from McDonald's arrives. I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
triple double.
Oh yeah,
I was hungry.
Yeah, when you get 3 double cheeseburgers.
My workday is over. I spent 8 hours working at Target for free, and it was the happiest day of my life.
Whoa.
The happiest day of my life.
Jesus Christ.
There's something so dystopian about the end of these videos.
It's you know what it is also? It's the like
oh, it is an Olipop bat!
Shit for free though.
You didn't do it for free. It wasn't for free. Olipop paid you thousands of dollars to do this.
Interesting. That's really quite weird, isn't it?
Remember when I love the enunciation. Remember when she did and I bought some Olipops and I was like, huh. Interesting.
And the edit stopped and she stared into the screen for 15 minutes.
Interesting. Yeah, she's like, and you should go to Target and buy your Olipops as well.
No, you did not restock that. That employee needs those items for orders placed online. Oh my God.
And then they said,
of course, that's what was in the cart. Oh, that sucks.
No, it was another employee's cart. He was stocking it and I started stocking it too and asked if that's okay.
It was a big box of Olipops. My favorite food. There's just something like odd about having that worldview with no self-consciousness about it. And the ad. I mean, that's just fascinating in its own way.
The ad is the transparent reality that I actually get paid way more than the average person who's working at this grocery store to pretend to work there.
Yeah.
Like that is what's so dystopian about it. This comment here, I work there for 15-17 and it's always the worst day ever. Yeah. That is the problem. Olipop doing the Lord's work.
Oh, God. Oh, that sucks. If being a brand account wasn't bad enough, doing the Lord's work, is that a saluting emoji? Okay, well, that's disrespectful to the troops.
Yeah, that's stolen valor.
Like myself.
Can we look at Target, get this girl something? No, she doesn't need anything. She got a brand deal.
Which doesn't need the job.
Can you please cover my shit at Best Buy on Saturday, please?
Sponsored by Kettle Corn or whatever. 8 hours is crazy. Well, no, it isn't though. Every day is actually what people will do. 8 hours is a pretty charitable day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the haunting thing. The ad does. They're going around and giving out the gift cards and stuff, filming surreptitiously. They don't know that they're being filmed when she
It's
does
like
that.
if
It's a lack of self-awareness.
it's like if Jake from State Farm went into the State Farm like corporate office every day and sat there and just pretended to type on a computer like Tyra Banks in that movie Life Size.
This was the happiest day of my life.
Yeah, and he's like, I get paid so much fucking money to hang out with celebrities. And I mean, like, you guys have to work at this fucking insurance place who give it like, must suck, dude.
I would love to do a nationally broadcasted ad where I do a bad job, but it bankrolls the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. Like, kind of like the podcast. I do a bad job and I get paid for it. I just to be known as a shitty performer.
Yeah.
But in a Super Bowl ad.
Do you think we could get this girl to come cover your shift on Sad Boyz?
That would rock. She would crush it. Happiest day of her life.
Yeah. She'd be like, dude, and
she's sipping from the Phil's cup even more visibly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing it without getting paid. Maybe she wasn't paid by Olipop. Maybe she just loves it.
So, do you know about the Stanley Cup? Which, by the way, sounds like a horror game.
Isn't Stanley Cup like a thing from sports?
Yeah, I think it's what you win in hockey.
Yeah. Is that nothing?
I didn't know if it was actually called the Stanley Cup or not, but fucking Starbucks has a new tumbler. So Stanley is a company that makes like tumblers or metal goods.
He's a blacksmith.
Thermoses and stuff. And they did a collab with Starbucks.
Ooh,
and they made
cool.
this pink thermos.
When did they do this collab?
Recently.
Sick, dude. Very cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right now.
Very, very not a shitty time to do it.
This is like how Starbucks also just announced that you can get coffee. You can get coffee in your own cup at Starbucks because people are getting called out
for optics. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
for the optics of, people are myself included and ourselves included boycotting Starbucks right now.
I feel self-conscious if I send a gift on Pokemon Go with the Starbucks cup.
Oh, right, because you're right by it and you
Sometimes
can't.
I walk past it and I spin the Pokestop.
I definitely, because like the Go Plus automatically does it.
Then I make sure to reach out to whoever the friend on my friends list is.
I'm not like that.
I see. I'm
also,
just
Howard Schultz fucking sucks. I actually don't think, as much as I like my little frozen like piece of shit breakfast sandwich that sucks, that like was like microwaved or whatever
that you love,
that I love. That's like honestly complete garbage and like basically frozen food.
It's very weird that you can microwave something and it says same temperature. It doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, it's weird. How did that?
Defrosting something that wasn't frozen.
But as much as I do hate that bullshit and the mid coffee, that I have enjoyed in the past but now hate. Howard Schultz sucks. Yeah. The CEO, the owner, founder of Starbucks, who like ran for president that one time and was a complete idiot. Cool. He's also like, not only is he like staunch Zionist or whatever, but he's mega anti-union as well. And I'm realizing that like, I'm like, oh, I should probably just not support Starbucks in general.
Yeah, it's kind of a big old piece of shit.
He also, I didn't want to conflate those two things. Anastasia said he also destroyed the Seattle Supersonics, which is why Seattle doesn't have a NBA team right now.
Did he buy the team?
He owned the team.
Oof.
And then like he sold it, but then couldn't find a buyer in Seattle, and then it got moved to like Oklahoma City. Yeah. But anyway, this Tumblr. So right now, it's so funny, dude. It's like so dystopian.
It's a nasty looking dog.
That right now there is this Starbucks Tumblr collab. We're looking at a vlog of someone who is camped out at Target at 4:40 a.m. to be first in line to be able to get the Stanley tumbler.
The Valentine Stanley drop.
There were 3 other people who we actually met in line during a previous drop. Okay.
I told her, I'm like, yeah, I know we're crazy. Don't judge us.
No.
Must have been a Home Depot bucket.
Wait,
Most people started to show at 6 a.m.
I started to freeze and curled up into a ball.
They're
Oh, yeah,
probably
'cause
like
it's
this
winter.
school's outside Mayday.
Wait, I'm not liking this. But it doesn't look like that many though.
It's like at least
30 to 40, like they said.
30, 40.
This is like what it was like to get a Wii in 2007.
Yeah, dude. I feel like I'm waiting for Halo 3 midnight release.
All the way back. What?
Oh wow, there's quite a line.
Why?
Because people have to get their hot pink tumbler.
But there's a bunch of Starbucks. There's like famously a lot of them.
No, but this not this. This is limited edition.
This is the Valentine's drop. Or whatever.
Well, I think that was a previous drop.
They're so cloud obsessed.
I know, it's like,
Dude,
it is like a cloudy thing.
have some class. Somebody just grabs all of them.
Mom, you got two? If you're getting
Black Friday. Oh, she took 2 dishonorable.
Oh, that's wild.
I just want a video. This is funny.
Oh my god. It's like Black Friday. It's like the old Black Friday videos.
Yeah.
Gone in 20 seconds.
There's someone that didn't get a cut.
Gorgeous.
Actively upset. I think I'd just take, even if I was really into it, I'll just take a swing on like,
All right.
getting it next week.
All right, I'll bite. Jacob, let's go to eBay. How much are these reselling for? I need
Oh, I
to
didn't
know.
even think. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my brain is too
Man, putting so much
resale coded now.
Putting a ton of time into collecting, and you choose that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Stanley X Starbucks exclusive tumbler, 40-ounce winter pink, and that
What a deal!
And that is why people are waiting outside at 6 a.m. Because I don't know if anybody. I think there's a few people who want it a lot, and then there's people who recognize that there's a market, scalpers, and then they. And then this is what we have. And so they're reselling for, yeah. Okay, now, Jacob, this is like a little eBay trick. Can we go on the side to sold items? Because these listing prices are over. So we want to go to, sold items, show only sold items, yeah. So yes, they have been selling for $250. These are or best offer, so we don't know if they accepted a lower offer. Oh, no, that one ended at $212, 18 bids.
Respect.
January 4th, 2024.
Plus $12.55 for shipping.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, it's a pretty hardy. Yeah,
they sent it via bike courier.
Great market for the counterfeiters out there who there's no way to like prove the origin of.
Yeah, Stanley style cup.
So yeah, that's wild. There's another video about these. Oh yeah. Yeah, this I can't wait for Jordan's reaction.
I peeled off the label on my Cosmo Stanley tumbler. The packaging was so cute, I had to get it laminated.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And now I can use my tumbler without messing up the label.
That is fucking insane. I know. Hey man, no.
I love products.
No need to yuck yums, but this is parked up.
No, dude. I mean, look, I love consumerism as much as the next guy, but it's something a little dark about this cup. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm wrong. In some way, I think I'm wrong.
There is a subreddit for the Yeti tumbler.
Oh yeah.
And that is, I think it's like pretty popular. I just saw somebody tweeting about.
I think
that.
Anastasia got me one of those as like a gift one time. Yeah.
We got a. Is that the one we used to get from work as well? Like yearly anniversary ones or whatever. Everyone just says Cope on it, which is pretty funny in retrospect.
Yeah, I do. I actually, you know what's funny? I have 2 of those because they released them at Target and then I grabbed 2. No, they printed, for work, they gave us like these big, I think they're Yeti thermoses. I actually I didn't remember what the brand was, but they had engraved all of our names on them. Like it was like a company holiday gift.
It's cute.
And they made 2 with the name Jarvis on them. So they were like, here you go, I guess.
The name of no one else I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 Patreon Jarvis Yeti cups.
We worked
and I will
with
be reselling them for $5 million.
It's crazy because both Stanley and Yeti are camping gear brands.
Yeah.
Like
They're both survivalist.
like pots and pans and stuff.
Right.
And so now it's like impossible to buy Stanley stuff.
Oh, it's like
too expensive.
A bunch of people dying in the woods.
Yeah, that's like
Sucks.
it's like boat shoes and like I feel like that happens sometimes where like Carhartt, yeah, like a worker's gear or even Dickies. You know, it's like where it becomes like stylish.
As a salt of the earth laborer, kind of like man's man, classical trade school kind of guy. Like
your hands are so rough.
Oh yeah, that's from something else. Unmoisturized.
Oh, I see.
I tried picking up a single brick to tear my hands wide open.
Yeah, bled all over the ground.
But I put a lot of salt on the earth.
Yeah, Saltburn, so to speak.
When I say trade work, it's pretty nasty. I'll admit it. I personally am upset when I see somebody wearing metal toed boots like me. I wear shoes on the podcast, but and says you want me to hand me my caterpillar or whatever. I have a truck outside. It's full of lumber that I've not secured.
I saw a TikTok, like a fashion TikTok, that was like what these brands say about you. And then Carhartt came up and it was like, if you were a Carhartt, you're a hipster or something like that. And it's like, or you like fucking work. I don't know.
Yeah. Or you've had one for 40 years.
Yeah. It's like so funny to have it like co-opted by a fashion trend.
I find this less. Maybe I would find this even more unsettling if we hadn't kicked off with the previous brand.
Well, I couldn't believe they had an in-universe collab.
This is. I really didn't anticipate it being like a. You know, the last one being an ad. It does make me wonder about some of these.
It's like I behaved the same way for something, I'm sure. Black Friday, I've done like Black Friday rushes to get like good deals.
We've all gone to Woolworth when it was closing back in 2006, 2007, somewhere around there.
When I was a kid, we used to like call around. When the Wii came out, we were calling around to like see when they were getting Wiis in. And that was like maybe the last time that I like saw something in the store that I like had to like grab.
We've all gone down to the Stroud Blockbuster when that was closing in the mid 2000s because we wanted to get a copy of Reaper Jr. I think it was Grim Jr. something like that for the PSP because the guy that worked there used to give you like copies of stuff and then just bring it back.
Yeah, we did that.
Thank you. Yeah, Damien was like a cool guy.
Yeah, he was so sick.
We all had a semi-brotherly relationship with Damien, though we only saw him at the Blockbuster. And then one day he was gone forever. I assume he got fired for giving me stuff.
I do think I also respect the art of like caring for your items and stuff like that. Like there's like there's like kintsugi and stuff where like you have like gold leaf and you like mend items and like kind of sort of appreciate them, but there's a disconnect between that and like laminating the label on your Starbucks tumbler, which is like, dude, I don't know why it's funny to me.
It is, it's as arbitrary as anything, and we both have our passions that are just based in like, hey, this feels good. I know ultimately maybe it doesn't matter, whatever. But the sinister part is that it's Starbucks, dude.
It's Starbucks.
Like preserving the brand of, I mean, even in your case, Pokemon cards, right? Mm-hmm, there is a nostalgia and a whimsy to it. And
lock me up.
Oh, okay. Fuck. It's not for that, though.
My hands are really soft.
That's why you're going to jail.
I've never worked a hard day in my life. No.
I can't get out of these cups because my hands are soft.
My hands are soft. Oh, they slipped right out.
Oh, the salt.
Actually, because they're so soft and lotioned. They're so moisturized.
But just... There's no nostalgia, whimsy, anything for these cups unless you're like 10 years old. Yeah. It's way more so just like...
If it was a limited edition Pokemon tumbler, I may be like, damn, I kind of want that.
I'm going to Starbucks today is what you'd say.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, and you were going this morning. So.
Shut up.
I'm strictly.
I didn't do it. I went to Einstein Bros. Is Einstein Bros okay? I don't.
Wait, try that, Jacob? No.
Oh, no. Einstein was on the flight logs.
The flight logs to join the IDF.
I do have bad news about Stephen Hawking. Very bad news about
crazy,
Stephen Hawking.
He's done a streak, isn't he? Every time there's some weird like misconduct, it's always just like, and Stephen Hawking was doing that. Yeah. It's like, get back to space. Do the counting stars or whatever. Checking how many stars there are. Yep, still 10.
Right. You just 10 stars, yeah. Let's talk about Saltburn.
Oh, this guy's fun.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
what do I do? Howdy.
Howdy, it's me, Jacob or Lordy.
Or
Come on down to Australia. I didn't know he was Australian.
Yeah, that fucked me up. I checked because I'm like, this is pretty convincing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then he was, saw him in an interview. He was like, crikey, I can't believe I'm in another movie.
They say I'm tall in Euphoria. You should see me in the other movie. I look so freaking big next to Barry Keoghan. How the fuck do you say his name?
Kurgan.
Keoghan. It's Irish. I looked it up.
Yeah, it's got like a 9 in it.
Keoghan.
It's got like a Batman
It
symbol.
sounds like a Doppler effect thing. Like Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, there, he's got a spoiler on his name.
Yeah. But anyway, everyone's talking about Saltburn. There's a lot of memes. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah. I fucking loved it.
Okay.
I don't know what the consensus is.
I did not love it. But I thought it was entertaining for me. But I also thought that it was very, I understand why the response is, at least as I understand it, it's very like Tumblr core, like all the memes, all the fan cams and stuff like that. What I wasn't expecting was that I watched The Talented Mr. Ripley the other night, and I had no clue those movies were so similar. Yeah. I thought it was just like a nod, but there are whole plot points.
It's almost
there are conversations that are the same that happened in both movies.
The director mentioned that, and they also mentioned Cruel Intentions. Have you ever seen that?
I haven't seen that one.
I don't even know what the subgenre name is, but like unsettling, delicate boy.
Well, tell me what you liked about the movie.
So I have this. It's kind of a it's a wanky film school thing, maybe. But there's if I get really attached to a component piece of something, it doesn't supersede the text, and it's not going to raise it above like the quality of the sum of its parts, right? There's a lot of components to what makes something good or bad, but or enjoyed or not enjoyed. But I was engaged the entire time, and the direction is so good. It is like so. That's kind of my bag slightly with Get Out, honestly.
Yeah,
I really like that movie. I never been super crazy into some of the. I don't think the performances are amazing. I think the lead performances are, but there's just kind of like I don't know. I feel like Josh from The West Wing or whatever his name is, the dad, is just kind of an autopilot. Anyway, the direction of that movie is what feels so like auteur and sincere and deliberate. It's why I love that movie. But also the last third, it's there's some catharsis in it or whatever, but it's just so like, oh yeah, of course it has to be this. This is what the movie had to be. Yeah,
that's that. I didn't feel like there was a twist because it felt like that's what the movie had to be.
Which
personally.
It's pulpy B movie at the end, and that's complete. That's no less valuable. But everything else about the production, especially the editing, is like what attaches to me. It's why I like Us more. Which I know is and Nope. I think it goes Us, Nope, Get Out, Key and Peele right at the top, and not the Twilight Zone one. That sucks shit.
For me, it's Boom Chicago in Amsterdam, touring improv comedy. Then Key and Peele,
Saltburn,
not involved in that movie, but it's in the list.
The Bathtub. I'm not going to rewatch the movie. Is what kind of maybe at some point. I actually am because Katie hasn't. So we're going to watch it, so we will. I'm curious to see her reaction and her overall thoughts because we have kind of similar taste. I would always rather go to the messiest, most chaotic house party ever than like a really nice public invite event or something, just out of curiosity. Doing that in the past, when I was younger, I've had it's pretty bad like experience, like gotten too drunk or gotten like seen like my friend got clipped by a car and just like gotten fights, and that happens, right? Because it is chaotic and weird. Now I'm old and that would be too tiring. But there is something like Saltburn was just so constantly surprising, not in its content because it's literally just The Talented Mr. Ripley, but there's so much that stuck with me. The production's so fucking good. The grade is so
very
fucking
pretty.
good. The performances are weirdly good. I think Jacob Elordi, Bathtub Jacob. He, I think I apologize. I'm as guilty, I think, of anybody else of unconsciously judging him for being in like movies for teen girls. I think that the
Robert Pattinson effect.
I didn't account for my bias, and he's great in those movies too. And I think I've watched the Kissing Booth. That was fine. It's like a fun enough movie. Whatever. It's kind of odd. Like I don't know. The dynamics are very fucking strange. But there's that kind of silent part of me that when I was younger was like, boy bands for girls, dude. That's not. If it's for girls, that means it's bad.
Oh, and I mean, I love boy bands. For me, yes. I think I don't have a great. I'm not a great critic of media. I will say that up front.
You hate the British,
mostly. I think for what the movie, I think for me, I attach myself to what the movie's trying to say, and I didn't feel like a critique on class from someone who is like the daughter of a famous jeweler of the stars. Felt very like, and not to take away from that person's ability to critique that, but it's like I didn't feel like it said anything new.
It does lose its the thing I really liked about that is like a couple small things. Barry Kroger's whatever the fuck, Barry Walbart, he's doing some very subtle code switching as far as how strong his accent is, which I think is really cool. Also, shout out, he's Irish and he does all kinds of different voices. He's also playing the Joker. You know that?
Oh, really?
He's in the deleted scene from The Batman. He's in the next one as Joker. It looks really stupid in terrible makeup. But he's crazy. He's chaotic like us. We have a sick, twisted sense of humor society. But there is there's that kind of stuff with Jacob Elordi. A character called Felix wearing a vintage rugby shirt in a overstuffed pub, throwing a fiver on the side. There's like nostalgia maybe that's also playing into it. But I hated those guys. Partly because I was jealous and they had money, whatever. But also just,
I have none of the cultural sort of connection to
and that definitely does play in. But I didn't go to Oxford or anything, so none of that landed really. But the thing I liked about the class allegory, which really, allegory is just direct, which otherwise is a little sloppy, is I really liked when they go back to his and he has a staunchly middle to upper middle class upbringing. And I that is like, because the source of class warfare in the UK is a little different than it is here, and it's very different than it is in Korea, which is kind of the like go-to reference point for class separation movies right now, movies and TV between Squid Game and Parasite. There is a very important line in the movie that is kind of hidden, and this is the kind of thing that I enjoyed and what captured me so much. I was constantly making notes. There is a scene where he says, "I'm a vampire," and he says it for like in text reasons, like reasons that can just basically be a pun. It's a blood pun, but or like whatever, not a pun, but it's like a reference. But that's a pretty telling line, because that kind of feels like it's acknowledging that it's not Parasite, where he is not like a symbiote or a parasite feeding off of. Yeah, he is the predator.
He's a bloodsucker, a fame fucker. He's bleeding you dry like a goddamn vampire.
How dare you?
Like he's an Olivia Rodrigo style vampire.
Yeah, an industry plant or whatever. People just hate it, right, for some reason. But yeah, I enjoyed watching it. I am curious to see what I think about in a second watch. It is too long.
Yeah, it's long. It's like 2 hours, maybe a little bit more. Ripley's also 2:15. Which is where the similarities stop between those two movies. One thing that I feel like we should discuss is I personally, especially having watched Ripley afterward, I didn't feel like any of the like grotesque stuff in the movie, or like the bodily fluids and all of that stuff. Like, I feel like you could do more with less. I feel like it was just there for like the shock value,
especially the length of the suits.
In the same way that like in a horror movie, you see somebody like stab an eyeball or something like that. It feels like it's like meant to grab that, and maybe that's the point.
It feels a little like an Ari Aster movie where you watch, I don't know, I really like Hereditary. I don't like Midsommar because Midsommar just feels gratuitous. It's just like, it's like, look at this, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that? What if something was crazy?
Yeah, because I feel like I got like, oh, this guy's a wacky guy, like pretty early on. But okay. So going back to Ripley, there's like first of all, everyone's beautiful in that movie. Young Matt Damon. There is a scene very early on where like you see that like Tom Ripley is like really good at impressions. And he like starts doing voices. And it's so eerie. And you immediately are like, this guy's a fucking villain. What the fuck? Like, and he's
capable in a way that is like, he's talented.
Literally. Yeah, he's scary. And I felt more fear from that than I did in any of the like sort of like, ew, like that's how I felt watching the Saltburn. I'm like, I don't want to see that.
Well, a lot of those scenes aren't revealing anything new. They are like, I mean, if anything, they're always, a lot of them are too early because they're just like, oh, this is insane. Like, it's not a ramp up. It is a 10 immediately. And then like, I mean, he's literally in like one of the earliest, minus one, I don't know, in one of the earliest scenes in the movie, standing outside his obsession's window, watching him have sex.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that, like, the last thing they did was he helped him with his bike. The leap in logic is crazy.
Yeah, there is a thing at the end too where they do the like prestige or whatever, where it's like they do the Knives Out. Like, actually, here's how we did it.
Well, you'll find this Barrack Herger,
but I was
played
like,
the Joker.
I was like that. It was another thing where I like it felt like it was like the movie trying to be like, look what we did, or like we pulled a trick on you or whatever. I don't know that that's what I was trying to do, but like in movies that I've seen, that is the point where it's like, and now I'm revealing how the magician did his
that's
trick.
definitely what they're doing, and that is the biggest disappointment in the movie is that they say it explicitly.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't have to do that because.
I mean, I didn't know.
Right.
But his actions in the final part of the movie, I did.
Right. No, literally because I was watching it with my friend, when he gave the, I mean, we've already kind of been spoiling things. When he handed him the drink and then he took a swig out of it, I was like, he's poisoning him. Or when he dropped that afterward, I was like, oh, he poisoned him. And then, and then it's like, oh, everything was like so planned. And so that's very much a like, oh, talented Mr. Ripley moment where it's like, oh, he's actually this like very intelligent, very premeditated genius.
What's more interesting about talented Mr. Ripley is, like, I'm curious if you agree, it's that character is, his ultimate goal is just comfort and integration. He's like, what am I thinking his name? Barry Keoghan's character.
Yeah, Oliver? No.
Oliver, yes.
Is it Oliver?
He's like Oliver, which, by the way, I think is a, like, there's a lot of, I grew up with a lot of ollies, like ollies on my skateboard. And then, I'm so sorry.
I grew up with a lot of kickflips.
I'm so stupid. But I grew up with a lot of ollies that were amongst my class. And then, like, the posh kids we knew were Olivers. And I think it is really interesting that he is, from the inception too, like going to Oxbridge, Cambridge, Oxford, etc. It's a very posh and kind of culty institution, especially if you don't come from like an explicitly rich family. But I that was like a code switching thing I thought was really interesting. But his parents call him Oliver as well. It's very explicitly like a posher name. If you call someone Oliver, it's almost like making fun of them,
right.
Oliver.
Yeah.
But there's like no, it's so, I get it. You put it perfectly. It's the prestige, but also I was so excited when Jacob Felix, when he just died, and there was maybe he didn't kill him, and then you find out he killed him, and I was so disappointed because it's like, no, like you can be parasitic and vampiric, and then like your presence is what's causing like the death and destruction and the fall down of the family, because that's what it was doing. And then it's just a little. Of course, there's a movie called sorry, rambling.
No, you're making perfect sense to me.
There's a movie called You Were Never Really Here, I believe. I always slip up on that name, but it's a Joaquin Phoenix movie from 4 or 5 years ago, and it's amazing, highly recommended. Little kind of violent, like groundedly violent, so that could be unsettling to people more so than this movie, but it's not gross out. It's uncomfortably normal and short. Just a, I'm dead. I'm dead. But the kind of point of the movie is no catharsis. You don't get that at the end. You don't get the like big explosive taxi driver at the end shootout type thing.
Yeah.
It does not affect the movie at all. You should watch it anyway. But it ends basically with like him turning up for that, and it already happened, and then the movie ends, which is a bit more like Ripley actually.
Ripley doesn't end in a catharsis, and I was thinking about the fact that, going back to like Parasite or something like that, like in a world where you're not rooting for Oliver, and so
he's pretty unlikable from the beginning,
and so seeing the sort of him winning is like, to me, I didn't need to see the extent of him winning because I didn't feel like I'm gaining any new insights or anything. I'm kind of just sitting in like his victory lap, because like it felt like a victory lap, like the like killing all of the members of the family, then like sort of befriending the mom, getting in the will, killing her. Now he has all the money and the thing, but he was already like upper middle class before, so it's like he just succeeded as being a vampire. Yeah, it's like a Morbius or whatever, except for like at the end of the movie, he just like you see a super cut of him sucking the blood of a bunch of people.
But yeah, I mean, the more we talk about it, I think this does definitely demonstrate the way I compartmentalize the stuff that I watch, because I really did enjoy it, and all these criticisms already running.
I enjoyed like it was a fun watch.
I should say I loved watching
it was
because it was engaging.
I didn't think it was. I was not like upset with the movie or anything like that.
But the allegory is wonky, and it also, this movie I do think dabbles in a pretty unpleasant trope that a show I really liked recently did the same. Fall of the House of Usher. That show and Saltburn kind of use queerness to indicate like greed and avarice and indulgence and lack of morals, like in a way that I don't even think it knows it's doing it. I think it's just a bias that it's like, this guy's so crazy, he'll fuck anyone. Isn't that crazy? It's like, I thought he was gay. No, he's straight. What the hell?
Me and Jacob were like before the show, I found myself on like r/Saltburn, and the comment, I cannot read the comment. It's like, it was a place where I'm like, it's not my place to speak on this, but the like sort of like young and queer community kind of like the idolatry of these characters and being like, ooh, they were serving in this way, or like they were like this person is like this. I'm like, it's cool to like see yourself in a movie and have something to or see something in a movie that you can kind of attach to, and I think that if I was at a different time in my life, I may have like had a different impression. Also, if it was the first type of movie I've seen like that, I would have had a different impression. And so I don't want to take away from like what people got out of the movie and the celebration and the sort of fun people are having with the movie. Because I think people are having a lot of fun with it. And I think that's great.
It is a gorgeous, fun movie.
And I think there should be lots of pretty things for people to have fun with. And I don't want to like yuck anyone's yum on that in that regard. And it's fun. I mean, like, if a Saltburn comes out every year where it's like that type of movie and people are talking about it, I'm going to watch it, because it's like, it's fun to be a part of it.
And I certainly get if like anybody does not feel bothered at all by like how the queer representation in that movie works, like it's not. I don't believe it's like degenerate behavior. It's just weird that there's a movie that like he really is the only character in the movie with ambiguous sexuality, and at least displayed. It's, you know, suggested maybe him and Felix have some kind of connection, but it's like it's never really physically explored in any kind of way, which is fine. But it's he is the villain, so he has no hesitation. He is full of Rome. He's a degenerate, dude. This is crazy.
Joker. I wasn't expecting Ripley to go into that stuff at all because it was 1999. But surprisingly, like without some of those like scenes, you know, like there's some pretty graphic, even from a sexual violence standpoint.
Yeah,
scenes in Saltburn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like so that could be off-putting. Like that's something that you would probably not see on TV back then. But the some of that stuff, you know, there's no like physical on-camera romance, but there's like a lot of implied romance. And then at the end of Ripley, he's being questioned by like the Italian police, and they're like, "Are you a homosexual?" And he was like, "God, no." Now that we talked about Saltburn, let's look at some of the responses. So first of all, Jacob Elordi's bathwater from that Saltburn scene is being sold as a candle.
I mean, like we did our spoilers. You can check out, but people know about this. When it comes to gimmick candles, I'm kind of on the side of like, well, now I just have this. This is just in my fucking. I'm gonna use it.
Sorry, relax. Let's light a little bit of Jordan's bathroom trip. I feel like we can't mention this without mentioning Gwyneth Paltrow's like vagina candle.
Yeah. The
That's a real thing that exists, right? I didn't dream that. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, cool.
Are you talking about Jacob Elordi's bathwater?
But Jacob Elordi's bathtub water cocktail. People are taking the wrong stuff from this movie, I think.
I know, dude.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's a cocktail.
Okay, so they're playing the song from the end of Saltburn where the dance is happening.
Doing his little dance.
Doing his little dance with his big hog.
Like the Joker. What the fuck? Rim your glass with coconut milk and let it drip.
That's
pretty funny.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's what they drank in the movie.
No, I don't remember them doing that.
Yeah, I think it was more of a bathwater. And it's got a little penis straw.
Nice, that's edgy.
That's nice.
Shit. That's fun.
That's bachelorette party core.
That's crazy. These guys are crazy.
Okay, but then there's my favorite thing. You know how Saltburn was about having a big house and it being awesome?
Yeah, being pretty swag.
Yeah.
It is hard to get around that. Like a lot of the movie is just kind of like, this would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To just hang out.
So
listen to MGMT.
So there's a trend where like rich people are just doing a walkthrough of their mansions. Oh, I did. That is a nice touch.
That's very cool.
It's a nice touch that someone's pretending to be dead while you walk through your giant fucking mansion, which is cool. I mean, like, this is sick.
It is funny that like one of the central themes of that movie is like class shame, basically, like code switching and class shame, and these people have zero shame. Like, look at my pogger's house. I'm so glad I didn't grow up with that, because I would lie.
Yeah,
maybe I'm lying right now. Maybe I have a castle. God, no, if I had I'd be the most insufferable fucker in the world now.
Dancing around my fiance's family home, like
hashtag Saltburn, hashtag stately home, hashtag murder on the dance floor, hashtag dancing, hashtag Saltburn movie, hashtag FYP, hashtag for you, bitch. What's the song for this? Oh, it's murder on the dance floor.
Murder on the dance floor. Wow.
Oh, ew.
Wow. Why is it so sensual?
Ew.
Why are they moving? They're not moving around fast enough. Or maybe it's just I'm not hearing the song right now because we don't want to get claimed.
Oh, okay, this room's kind of cool.
It's a big house.
I don't know. I'm such a little like tart for ultra modern houses. I have like so much Maybe because I grew up in a rural area. I have so much bias against like old shit. Like, I don't know why.
I like thought that was my ex for a second.
Oh, there she is.
Got nervous.
Ooh, full side pool table. I'm back in.
Oh, that's cool.
I will dream browse Facebook Marketplace looking for like maybe I could reupholster like a broken.
I love how they all end because if they kept going, you'd have to be like, "Damn, this is a big house."
Yeah, the song's not long enough.
Yeah.
So I'd be self-conscious.
Now I hear your shame, but would you feel shame if I gave you $1 million?
Dude, that would be so embarrassing. Don't do it.
It's a matter of the dance.
Oh no, he's Venmoing me. I'm giving you some cash.
Well, that about does it for today's episode. I got to get out of here before this guy keeps making jokes. We're going to hop on over to the Boyz Nightz, our Patreon podcast, our premium Patreon podcast, where we're going to talk about the stuff we didn't get to in this episode, which is Tom Segura saying washcloths are for poor people.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, I forgot about it.
And then the Pop-Tart who killed himself at the Pop-Tart Bowl.
God, I forgot about that Tom Segura thing. God damn.
And we've got some Austin, our editor, one of our editors, made some. Oh, who was on the last Sad Boyz Nightz, or one of the last Sad Boyz Nightz, made some New Year's slides. So we're gonna go through some New Year's stuff. We didn't get to it last time. So all of that and more on Sad Boyz Nightz. Patreon.com/sadboys.
Holy weird.
Stop it. Okay. We end every episode of Sad Boyz with a particular phrase.
We love you.
And we love you.
So sorry. Okay.
You know, I think this couch makes you sit weird.
Yeah.
It's the couch.
Okay, finally, someone says it.
Hear that, everyone?
Or maybe it's just because of I'm near you too.
Yeah, we have a gravitational pull.
I'm like, I'm showing so much side
It's like
ass,
zero
but I can't
gravity.
help it.
It's like zero gravity for your legs. Honestly, go up.
My is facing the world. Right?
Yeah.
I wish.
We're one long red line.
Yeah.
Gucci girl, how you doing? How you moving, girl? Moving, girl. How's your day looking? That future girl, yeah, we on now. Take my money, go away, all you want it.
Girl, too rich for me.